Okay. So when last we left off, you guys had fought off the Yar clan on the wheel who were trying to kidnap IT-3PO, the droid that has information on where the Sa Nalaor is located on Cholganna,
Yep.
or who has had contact with people from the Sa Nalaor in the past anyway. Um, and you just taken off of the wheel space station and managed to not get in trouble with the authorities or anything.
Can I
Um,
stop you for a second?
yep.
Brian did not roll,
Oh, Josh.
or
Yeah,
Josh,
Josh, you
sorry.
want to roll
Josh didn't roll yet.
a force die?
Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Bam!
Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
Apparently I'm the only angelic one, huh?
Okay, so to start things off, there are a couple of options you have for the flight plan to Cholgana. There's a two-step jump that would be following the original flight plan of the Sa Nalaor itself that you guys managed to get from the data pod. Um, it's a little bit easier to take that route for astrogation than the second option, which is a direct jump to Cholgana, which is basically forging your own like hyperspace route on the fly to get there, but it shaves about 15 hours off of your travel time.
I think we should do the two-step jump.
Okay. Who's going to be doing the astrogating? I'm not sure what your guys' astrogation skills are offhand.
Tis not I.
My
Who's got the best?
astrogation rank is 0.
What's your intelligence? Intellect, sorry.
Intellect is 2.
Okay.
So I have 2 green die.
And sorry, Ashley, I don't remember.
Ability die.
Shorpeer the Wookiee.
Yeah, Shorpeer. What's Shorpeer's intellect?
2.
2? Alright, well we're all in the same
Okay.
boat, so I guess,
Oh, are you?
yeah, so
All right. So really, who's piloting again? I can't remember if it was Josh or Brian,
I
or
believe
I'm sorry, Kyle or what is it? Erin? Is that the name?
Iris.
Iris. Okay, so since Iris is piloting, it's probably going to have to be Shorpeer or Kyle that is doing the astrogating. That's
We're both at the same level, so it's up to you.
well, it's up to you guys, whichever one of you would
Well,
want to
I
do
meant,
it.
I meant
yeah.
Brian.
Oh, Brian, you want to do it? The first
It
jump.
may have to be Shorpeer right now. Well, my computer's freezing up a little bit.
Oh no. Okay.
All right, are you guys there?
Yep.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
Okay.
Sorry, I was freezing up a little bit. Let's let Shorpeer do it while I try to do some technical managing here.
Okay, Shorpeer, it is going to be a difficult. The first leg of the jump is going to be a difficulty 2 astrogation check.
Do you want me to
Average.
re-roll since I didn't put in...
You can just roll. Yeah, just re-roll.
Ah, nada.
Nada. So you netted 0. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you manage. That means you do manage to plot the course. You just add a bunch of time on, basically, and You guys are going to be in hyperspace in the first leg of this jump for about 54 hours. So, this is time that you can use to explain away anyone who spent experience points on upping your stats and whatnot. After 54 hours, you guys jump out of hyperspace, and you're pretty much in the middle of nowhere at this point. So it's time to do the second portion of the jump. Which is another average astrogation check, so 2 difficulties, but there's also a setback die because the data from the Sa Nalaor is decades old.
Cool.
At
So
least I'm not doing
Hey,
bad.
there we go.
Okay, so no successes, but you did get an advantage. So, it takes 24 hours. That jumps up to 30. So 26 hours. It takes you longer than you thought it would to plot in the course, and you kind of get a roundabout way, but at the last second you manage to shave a couple hours off of the time that you were going to be stuck with by finding a route at the last second. So, let's see. So 80 hours it takes you in total to get there. So you guys have a few days if you, it's you three and IT3PO that are on the ship. If there's anything you guys want to get done RP-wise or anything, you have 3 days to kill. Otherwise, we can jump to Cholganna as well.
Okay. Sorry. Can you refresh my memory about R3?
IT3PO.
Yeah,
Yep.
IT3.
IT3PO is a protocol droid who.
We saved him last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was from the Sa Nalaor, and he was working with the Isotech company to get shipment of the Sa Nalaor, some stuff from the Sa Nalaor before it disappeared. And he was associated with I'm spacing out on this name. Rollock, the previous owner of Isotech, basically. He was associated with him. No, Rayom is the current.
Okay.
Where is IT3PO? Anyway, yeah, basically he was working with Isotech to handle transportation of the Sa Nalaor's shipment as it was fleeing from the Republic to sell on the black market, sort of thing.
Right. Okay. Does he have any? I'd like to talk to him, try to get information about anything that he'd be able to tell us about the ship and where, and how he got off and stuff. Is
Okay.
that something that he'd know?
He wasn't on the ship when it got into trouble.
Okay.
He had been sent ahead to start negotiating.
Okay.
He was working with Isotech. He does say that he knew the previous captain of the captain of the Sa Nalaor, Captain Harsel. He'd worked with him in the past, but as for what actually happened to the ship, he doesn't have any direct knowledge of that.
Okay. Yeah, then that's basically all I need to know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, anybody else?
I'm good.
Okay.
Does IT3PO have any information, or if we talked about it last time, just a reminder on what the environment on Cholganna? That's where we're going, Cholganna.
Yes. The Cholganna is supposedly where the Sa Nalaor, it looks like it crashed.
Okay.
But it didn't have any previous there wasn't any. It wasn't an intended place for where the Sa Nalaor was going to go. It's a planet kind of out in wild space, basically.
But we're
But
prepared supply-wise, correct? For
what you
the
guys were told last session about Cholganna is that it's a pretty big planet, and it's the only thing it's really known for is occasionally Nexu are a uh, uh, species that of wild animals that live there that can be domesticated if they're caught young enough, and they're captured and brought from Cholganna occasionally and trained as guard dogs, basically, like really nasty guard dogs.
okay.
And then IT3PO himself doesn't have any further information about the planet than that.
Good.
All right. So if that's it, the 80 hours pass, and you guys see the star lines begin fading to real space. And as that happens, the sensor system immediately goes haywire, flashing lights and sounding a malfunction alarm. A quick glance shows the system is jammed or overwhelmed. Looking outside, you see what you assume to be the Chol system star as a dim, hazy disk. You can't make out any stars, and you don't immediately see Cholganna or much of anything else. Um, First thing you notice is that your ship's sensors are completely blind. As you enter you're in some sort of a nebula. Um, to boost the sensors to adapt them, someone's going to have to make a computers check. Otherwise, you can kind of see visually out the ship, but you're going to be adding 2 setback dice to any perception checks you make
Okay.
My
because of the
computer
dust.
is too green.
I have also 2 green computers.
All right. That's me as well. So
Okay.
I'll.
Wow.
It makes sense that I would be doing that since I'm at the helm.
Okay.
Okay.
I think.
So that's going to be a hard, so 3 difficulty computers check. And assuming you succeed, it's you figured it might it's probably
Hey.
take around.
I do succeed.
You did succeed. All right, you start making the repairs necessary, and it looks like you're going to do it. But what you thought was originally going to be a 5-minute job looks like it's going to take you more closer to 10 minutes to actually repair. And when you're about a minute in, all of a sudden you feel you feel things smashing into the hull of your ship and bouncing off.
Okay.
And that may be akin to asteroids or something.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, guess put the shields. Are shields a bubble the whole ship? I don't have to determine the direction.
I don't remember what kind of ship you guys ended up with, honestly.
It was a... No, I didn't write it down. It was a variation of a Millennium Falcon.
It was a 1300 with
Yep.
with a cockpit in the middle. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let me pull her up real quick here. Ships. As you are putting up the shields, you realize you're probably not going to be able to work on the computer system and pilot at the same time.
Okay.
So I don't know who you'd want to pass that off to. I don't remember if who of the other 2 has piloting, if at all.
I'd pass it off to Kyle.
I have...
Kyle, take it home.
Okay, I got 1 yellow and 1 green, and
Yep.
piloting for space.
Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is make a. As you continue going, you hear smaller pings now and then, but as you start piloting, you can start seeing bigger chunks of rock, the size of boulders, just before they are about to hit your ship, since there are no sensors to warn of them. So I need you to make a hard piloting space check, so 3 difficulty, and you get a black setback die because the sensors aren't fixed yet.
My. Alright. Let's roll. Oh, I still have the force die. Sorry, that was.
Oh, that's cool.
So it looks like I just get one threat.
One threat, no success. Okay.
Yep. No success, one threat.
Okay, so you actually take 4 points of system damage on your ship. Where the hell are the ships? I will probably have someone. I'm going to find the page that the 1300 is on. Probably have someone flip there so you guys can keep track of the ship.
Yeah, I can do it. Just let me reminder.
Where's starships maybe?
Oh.
There we go. Weapons. The 1300 is on page. What? Is on page 264.
264.
Yep. So your hull threshold is 22, so you should take 4 hits off of that. And
Okay, down to 18.
Yep. So you managed to swerve out of the way after the first one, only get hit by a few smaller ones, and then about 10 minutes later, another massive one is about to smash into the shields or to the front of the ship. So I need you to make another same check as last time. Hard
All
piloting
right.
space.
Oh no.
Ooh.
1 failure, 1 threat.
Ouch. Critical hit.
Ah!
Let's see.
Red alert, red alert.
21%. Hey Ash, you want to do me a favor?
What's that?
You want to run out to the table and grab me my GM screen for Star Wars? I forgot to grab it. 21 is... You lose power to the front shields.
Oh no.
Way to go, Kyle.
You shouldn't have handed it off to me.
All
Worst
right.
pilot in the galaxy.
10 more minutes pass. And just as you're about, like you kind of think you're coming to the end of the field. All right, wait, no, I'm sorry, Josh, you fixed the sensors, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sensors would be fixed at this point. So, I need you to give me one more piloting check, but it's going to be 2 difficulty and no setback dice.
Okay. Nothing. Everything
Okay.
cancels.
So you get hit for 3 more points of damage, hull damage, but
Okay.
just as it ricochets off the front of the ship, you guys find yourselves bursting outside of the nebula, back into normal space, and you see yourselves just coming out of a small batch of meteoroids. And then there ahead of you, you see the planet of Cholganna.
Awesome.
Find it. Here's all of our books.
So we'll wait a second for Ashley to return to her table. Thank you, dear. All right, now I can reference this. Okay, yep. So now you guys see Cholganna. And the message pod data that you had does pinpoint the last known position over the planet, but not its final resting place. So you might be able to at least get a likely area of where to start searching.
Can we scan on that area, and if so, what's the range, or what's the radius, I guess, that we can scan?
Initially, what you're going to want to do is make a computer's check while in orbit. It's an average 2 difficulty. You got properly adjusted, so no setback dice because you did fix the sensors. And then that's what that's going to do is if you succeed, it'll narrow it down to hemisphere, and then you need to do a more involved search after that.
Okay. If Iris is still on the computers, should you make that?
Sure. Okay, so you said 2 difficulty?
2 difficulty computers. You have
Okay.
no setbacks or anything.
I don't know where it is.
You actually do sense a reading that you think is the ship. And
Okay.
it basically throws you off by about an hour before you realize it was a false reading.
Okay.
So, which puts you back to that you are now in the correct hemisphere. At that point, it's going to take a lot longer. This took about a total of an hour. To narrow it down even further, from low orbit, it's probably going to take a minimum of 5 hours.
Okay.
And that's going to be another average computer's check.
All right. Well, I will make the check. Nothing given.
Nothing. Okay. Okay. You are initially don't pick anything up, so you're gonna have to make another sweep.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So you got a success, and so the success, with the success, you identify about half a dozen areas that could be the debris field of a large capitalist ship that's spread over the distance of about 100 kilometers. But you do also, a little ways away from that debris field that you're picking up, you do also find what might be an escape pod.
Okay.
So your initial search gives out those 2 areas as possible locations to at least touch the ground and start searching.
Okay. Kyle, I've got 2 areas here. This one here looks like it could be an escape pod, and this one here looks like it would be the ship proper. I think maybe going for the escape pod first might be your best bet. Might be able to find the remains of survivors or something of that nature, and any information about the state of the ship, or perhaps code cylinders to access areas of the ship that are locked down.
That sounds good to me. Let's make our way.
All right, so you guys enter atmosphere proper. It doesn't take you long to follow the sensor readings that you picked up, and you do find that. Let's see. You do find where the object itself is, but it's buried at the bottom of a steep, overgrown crevasse. Your sensors do show that it's the size of a small shuttle or huge escape pod, but landing in the crevasse itself is actually made impossible by interlocking canopy of limbs and leaves. As you pass over, you do find the closest landing zone you can, but it's about half a kilometer away.
Okay.
So, if that is okay with you guys, you can certainly set down in that spot.
Does that sound good? Shorpier is our better tracker, right? Is that something we can manage to get across that area?
That'd be you, Ashley.
I'm sorry.
He said, did you say 1 kilometer away?
About half a kilometer.
Half a kilometer. That's not. I mean, that should be enough. According to your wisdom in the wild, are we able to traverse over this thick area of forestry? I guess.
I'm sure we would. I
Excellent.
wouldn't, you know.
All right, let's touch down over there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. First things first. When you guys come out of your ship, why don't you guys give me a 2 difficulty perception check? Holy crap.
What did I get?
Okay, so Iris doesn't pick a whole lot up. Shorpier and Kyle, on the other hand, you guys pick up that there are definitely had been wild animals in this area recently, and Shorpier's from.
Sheik.
Shortpeer being used to the wilds a little bit more, you do notice leavings of what might be more aggressive creatures in the area, but you do notice that they were both of you notice that they're probably scared off by the ship's landing and may be returning, particularly any aggressive ones.
Okay.
And now I need everyone to give me a fear check, which is discipline. Difficulty will be. Let's see. 2 difficulty.
Hmm.
I just crapped my pants.
Ashley, did you take the confidence trait?
Yes.
So yours is only 1 difficulty. Okay. So what did we get here? Kyle got a.
My 1 failure.
Got a despair. Or was it a failure?
Yeah, that was just a failure.
Oh, that one's just a failure. Okay. That's not so bad. Let's see. So you, basically the next time we have an encounter out here, you're going to add a setback die to any action you take.
Okay.
Josh got a failure and a threat. Josh, it's the same for you. And then
Okay, sorry I missed.
that's okay. Both you and Kyle are going to be taking a setback die for any actions you take during the next encounter we have on planet.
Okay.
Shorpier will not, because though he didn't get a success, he is. This isn't a new thing for him, traversing the wild and facing wild animals. So
Right.
he got a little bit of a boost.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
So laboriously picking your way through the steep, overgrown crevasse, you see a rusted metal hulk half buried in the dirt. It is relatively large and about 5 meters above the surface of a small brackish pond in the bottom of the crevasse. The object is draped with reddish, thorny vines, but you can just make out the faded words 34 Besh peeling from the metal to the left of a gaping opening. Dozens of thumb-sized, green-bodied flying insects buzz around the opening. It takes you a moment to realize the round hole is actually the wide-open hatch of a tiny ship or large escape pod. It is then you notice that the door itself stands half submerged in the pond where it fell directly below the opening.
Okay.
Shorpier, why don't you give me a knowledge xenology check, 2 difficulty. So you got a success in
good.
advantage. Awesome. Shorpier, you look at just even looking at the insects for a couple seconds, it looks like they probably are making their home inside the pod itself. and you get an advantage. So due to their size and what they look like, you're pretty sure that in swarms they could be somewhat dangerous due to stingers.
Alright, and I'll let you guys know that.
So what do you guys want to do from here?
Do we have anything that can ward off these insects?
Sharpier, I will, for your advantage, I'll let you say that. Like, if you guys have any sort of smoke-causing devices like grenades, you might be able to smoke them out of the pod.
I don't have any smoke things.
I don't have any smoke.
Yeah.
I have one bottle of whiskey if you wanted to set that on fire, but I would advise against it.
Why? Because you want to drink it?
Yes. Well, it's a bottle. We all are in on it.
All right, so that's the most obvious way you think to possibly get them out of the pod. The only other option is to, if you're still planning on digging through the pod, fight your way through them and then get back out.
Wonder if we could find any brush to set on fire.
Well, yeah, you guys are essentially in the middle of a giant jungly forested area surrounding the crevasse, so yeah, you could definitely find something that's burnable.
Okay.
If you guys want to take the time to do it, I can have you whip up something that we treat the equivalent of kind of a smoke bomb or something. It'd probably be a survival check to whip it up, I'd say.
I have the forager, so survival checks to forage takes half the time. And I can remove up to 2 dice from skill checks to find food, water, or shelter.
Oh, okay, so you should probably be the one to put it together, because it'll cut the time in half. All right, so I'm going to make that a 2 difficulty survival check. Okay. So not only do you cut the time in half, I'm going to say cut the time in down to 25% of what it would take a normal person, but you also come up with something sophisticated enough that rather than just scaring them off for a few minutes and burning out, you figure it'll smoke them out for a longer period of time, so it'll give you hours if you really wanted it. But you do manage to create essentially a smoke bomb and chuck it inside.
Good work, Sharpier.
Yeah, good job. So now we're clear to examine or enter this hatch.
Yeah. So how deep is the water?
The
Is
water
waist height?
itself, yeah, I would say it wouldn't be any. I don't think it's any deeper than waist height. And you do see the skeleton of a creature submerged in the pond. It's a picked, clean skeleton of some kind of clawed, razor-toothed quadruped. The skull of the creature does show blaster damage, but it is old, so.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you don't really have problems getting inside the pod itself. There is no human presence inside except for one of the pod's users who clearly didn't make it out alive. He is crushed in the last seat furthest from the hatch. The pod's systems, upon a cursory examination, do appear completely dead and heavily corroded. If you're going to try and do anything with them, it would require a mechanics check to get them out.
Well, Sharpier, why don't you try to pull that out?
Well, my mechanics is only at 2 green if anyone else has.
Well,
I've got a green and a yellow, one proficiency in an
Okay.
ability.
all right. I just assumed the Wookiee could, Racism in space.
Racism in space. That's right. So
Okay.
the mechanics check is a 3 difficulty.
1, 2, 3. Oh, 1 failure and 1 threat. I've electrocuted myself.
And the rest of us.
All right. So you do manage to get it free. It takes you a little bit longer than you thought it would, but um, yeah, and you think you might be able to access the files, but you're pretty sure that in your removal of it, you did cause some degradation of the any video files on it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then to retrieve the memory is a computer's check, which would be 2 difficulty.
All right. We're all at 2 green on computers,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll just run
Keep
that.
working
2
there, Kyle.
difficulty. It's on there. Oh. So 1 failure and 2 advantages.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you, as you're accessing it, you do manage to bring up some of the files, but as you're doing it, you totally destroy the recordings that were on it.
Excellent.
But you do find the last position of the Sa Nalaor when the pod was launched.
And is it
Which,
where we think our other location is?
fairly close to it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so it looks like it's a little ways to the north.
You guys want to try there next?
Take a look at the body that's there.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, do we know what species that was, or how do we scan that?
Um, it was say it's human, pretty obviously human. You don't need to do any sort of a roll for it.
Okay. Do they have any equipment that looks useful, usable, or any information?
They do not. They look like they're
Okay.
just in some sort of a flight suit.
Okay.
So, but you guys are now fairly certain that this was the Sa Nalaor, because of the logs that you found and not some other ship.
Okay.
So, if you want to continue your ways north, Shorpier will guide you.
Excellent.
Sure will.
Mostly because Shorpier cuts all overland travel time in half.
I'm following that Wookiee.
Okay.
Yep.
So as you guys are beginning, you start traveling towards the. What's everybody's perception?
Roll perception check.
No, I just want to know what your total perception is.
I've got 1 proficiency and 3 standard die. So
I've got 1 yellow proficiency and 2 standard green ability.
I'm also at 1 and 2.
Okay. Okay, so as you guys are nearing what you think is going to be the debris field, a snarl is heard just before something pounces in to attack you guys. And it is. So why don't I have you guys each give me a vigilance check?
okay. Well, this will be include my drawback.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a
Yeah,
setback
those
die.
will. Yes, this encounter will be the ones that those are affected by.
Okay, but it doesn't
Sorry.
affect this roll.
Oh. No, I'm sorry. Initiative checks generally aren't affected by setback
Okay.
dice.
Vigilance roll. Hey, hey, hey.
This is what pounces at you from a tree.
Sweet.
Hmm.
Except for not the sweet part.
Vigilance is willpower, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's... Yep, that's right. Oh, wow.
Wow.
It goes first.
I would say it would.
Okay.
Are there even that many symbols on those dice? My goodness.
Apparently, holy cow. Okay, so the, I'm so good I can hacksaw Google Hangout dice programs. So the creature leaps down from a tree and pounces at Josh. You're a human, right? Or not Josh.
No.
Brian, you're a human, right?
Yes, Kyle is a
Okay.
human.
Kyle's a human. Iris is a Bothan, which would be the smallest creature present, which is what this creature attacks.
Balls.
So do you have any defense?
Do I have any defense? Run away. I do not.
You do not. Okay. So that's gonna be difficulty 2. And its brawl is. Hey, that is its brawl. Oh, it misjudges its attack and lands just shy of you. And it kind of stumbles a little bit as it takes a little bit of strain. So first PC, who would like to go first?
All right. What's
So remember that Kyle and Iris are both going to be taking 1 setback dice to anything they do during this encounter.
shoot it, short here?
Shoot it, or you want me to go after?
Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. You should just go.
Yeah,
Alright,
shoot
I
it
can
because it's
shoot at it.
attacking you.
Okay, and you guys are Iris is not quite engaged with it because it fell short. So right now you are all at short range from it. So that would be 1 difficulty for your attack roll, Shorpier.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Okay, so give me a percentile die roll. Holy crap.
Nice.
Okay, so what's the damage on your super rifle, hunting rifle, or whatever you got?
On the bowcaster.
92.
Damage is 10.
Okay, so 10, 11. Do you know what the critical range on it? Well, you already got a critical.
Critical's 3.
Okay, well, you already scored a critical. But actually, I think I'm going to add 10 because you essentially scored 2 criticals. So that's going to be 102. All right, you blast off one of its legs, which gives it a black die to all further rolls. With a well-aimed shot, as it starts to jump back up, you shoot its front left paw off, and it takes 10, 11. So it takes. Okay, it is hurting, but it is still fighting. Next PC.
I'll go.
Okay.
It's only one difficulty.
1 difficulty to shoot at it. Yep.
Okay.
Because it's at short range from you. Nice. Hey, you hit it. I'm assuming that's a critical as well.
Let me
So
just,
give me a percentile and we'll add 10 to it.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, it isn't?
Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry, it is. Looking at the
I
wrong
was saying,
one.
I thought most blaster pistols were through.
Yeah. The holdout is 4. And I was
Oh.
looking at the holdout, but I am shooting with the heavy blaster, so it is.
All right, so 71%. What's the damage on the heavy? Is it 7 or 6?
And 7.
7. So that's
You rolled 61%.
yeah, but we add 10 because it already took a critical.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. It loses you basically hamstring it. It's spinning around and you shoot it in the one of its rear legs and making it more difficult for it to move. Uh, and it is
In
pretty
case
pretty
losing a
injured at
foot
this point.
wasn't hard.
Right, in case that wasn't bad enough. And we are to the third PC.
All right, I'm rolling for my blaster. You said 1 difficulty die, and then I
One
also
difficulty.
have 1 black setback die.
And your setback,
Oh
yep.
shoot! I forgot my setback.
All right, 1
Okay.
failure and 3 advantages.
Let's see. Well, you do not hit it, but with the 3 advantages, I don't know. What would you like to do with 3 advantages? So you miss, but what benefits?
Let's
Side
say
benefit
it
would you give
distracted it enough that Iris can get a little bit of distance.
Okay, sounds good. And now we are back to the top of the round, and in actuality, this thing is so injured that it reevaluates its original thought to attack the weakest prey of the group and turns and leaps for another tree to escape.
Okay.
Athletics. Remove that.
Should I shoot at it again and finish it off so we have food?
Oh, so it does leap for a tree and catches one, but it's so painfully aggravated that it catches with one claw and the smashes into the tree and does enough to knock it unconscious or kill it. Basically, it bleeds out as it grabs onto the tree and drops to the ground because of the
Nice.
threat. And that is your first sighting of a Nexu.
Excellent.
Oh, I can stop sharing that now. There we go. Okay, so you guys took out the Nexu. And you continue on, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Wait, but short period. Did you say we wanted to take that for food?
Do you want to?
Is it edible? Do we
Short
even
period.
know?
I can say you can just assume that it is. It's not like it doesn't have like poison in its veins or anything. You don't know what it tastes like because you've never eaten one, but it's not. It won't make you sick or anything.
Fair enough.
You can always try cooking it later. Unless raw's more your taste.
No. As a human, no.
All right, so you guys make it to a huge debris field that covers a 30-kilometer, a huge zone where most of the debris looks like the debris fell during the ship's descent. Why doesn't someone give me a hard survival check? It doesn't look like there's a whole lot that's useful here. It's mostly rusty pieces of metal and one of the
What
spare
is
engines.
a hard one?
I'm sorry,
Is that
3 difficulty.
3?
Yep.
We'll have 2 yellow and 1 green, so I'll go.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. You guys nose around. You don't initially find anything that looks terribly interesting amongst the debris, but Shortbeard does see enough of a pattern in the way that the debris fell that he thinks he can lead you guys past the debris field to where the ship itself, or at least a portion, the next biggest portion of it, landed. From its degree of descent and where the debris hit, you figure it's about a 25-kilometer hike from where you are to the next section.
Should we move on?
Do you think we can? Well, why don't we go get the ship and move the ship? 25K is quite the hike.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could fly the ship there. Well, assuming you can find a landing spot. It's
Yeah.
just this. It's just this particular area that you couldn't get the ship into.
I think that sounds like a good idea, Iris.
Okay.
All right.
Plot the course on or kind of map the area, or whatever, and then gonna get a heading and head back to the ship.
Okay, sounds good. So around midday, um, is where we're going to be at when you get there. And ahead you see a narrow, winding valley, one of many cutting through the rugged and overgrown terrain. A small river is visible through the trees. A rocky dam at the southern end creates a long, oblong lake, filling much of the valley floor behind it. After a moment, you realize that the dam is actually the rusted hulk of a ship, jammed between the rocky outcroppings of the opposing bluffs. The color is similar to that of the surrounding rocks. Water pours through huge holes in the hull, flowing through the decks and out through engines, among other exit points, until it plunges down a series of natural falls and continues south. Do you guys have any sort of portable scanner? I don't remember.
I have electro binoculars, so I could see closer, I guess.
Okay. Well, it'd be a perception check or computer's check to use a scanner.
Yeah, no, I don't have a scanner.
Okay, so it'd be a 2 difficulty perception check.
All right. Perception. I'll go ahead and run. Am I still on the 1 setback die?
No, that was gone after the encounter. Sorry
Okay,
about that. And this is the area where you guys have just found yourselves at.
1 failure and 3 advantages.
1 failure and 3 advantages. Okay, well, you can't quite make a visual identification of the ship, but from the debris field and shore piers guiding you guys here, and from being able to identify the escape pod, you're pretty sure this is the engine section of the Sa Nalaor.
Okay.
And as you blast by over the ship, you do see on the east bank of a lake is a clearing big enough for you to land on. So you guys set down, and as you step out of your ship, you do, let's see the remains of a makeshift metal and wood boat lying half buried in the mud. Appears to be made out of crashed debris and looks relatively new.
Is there any footprints or anything nearby?
Let's see. Not that you can really tell that are recent enough. Anyway, if this thing has been used. Oh, actually, why don't you give me an average 2 difficulty survival check, Short here. Okay. You stumble a bit and take 1 strain as you do a search and examination of the boat. While it does look fairly new, it looks like it's been here. Judging by the fact that there's literally no footprints that you can discern, and the way it's sitting in the water, and the level that it's sitting at, that it's probably been here a few months without being disturbed.
We haven't reset our strain on wounds yet, have we?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. You guys, while you were traveling to Cholganna, your wounds and everything get healed up.
Okay.
All right. So, you do see that to get to the to get into the engine section proper, if you want to do any exploring, you're going to have to make your way along the steep rocky outcropping and then climb your way up onto the ship, which looks like it's not going to be terribly easy climb as far as athletics checks go.
Okay.
Why don't you guys give me a hard perception check, 3 difficulty. Okay, let's see. Wow. Okay, so the threats are strictly just going to be strain at this point. Josh, had you taken any strain up to now?
No, not now.
No. Okay. So you guys do see ladders off to the side. They look older, but they might be sturdy. That are propped up against a portion of the engine.
Okay.
So you'll still, if you want to use a ladder, someone wants to use a ladder, you do have to make an athletics check, but it won't be quite as difficult.
I think I'll go for it. So you want 1 difficulty?
It's going to be 2 difficulty to climb the ladder. Okay. All right. Well, you get a couple steps up the ladder and it falls, or like completely collapses under your weight. As you get a ways up it. So give me an 2 difficulty coordination check to catch yourself as you plummet to the ground. Brian, did you know that you're muted? Okay. Okay, so
Sorry.
you take. No, it's okay. I just didn't know if you. I
was
didn't know.
trying to fix something on my computer and didn't want it to say a lot of.
Oh.
Didn't want to make a lot of noise.
No. I mean, if you need to be muted, it's no problem. I just wanted to. I didn't know if it was a. You're having computer issues, so I don't know if your computer muted you or not. Okay, so Shorpier, you take 3 wounds as you hit the rocks below, and 2 strain.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to do?
So the ladders are gone now?
Yeah, there's just one ladder, and it looked old. It looked like it might hold your weight, but that was incorrect.
Okay. I'll try to climb.
All right, that is going to be a 3 difficulty athletics check.
Okay.
Initially. For anyone who wants to try and climb up the rocks.
Not happening.
No.
Oh no.
I have a feeling I'm just gonna fall again.
Do we have? We don't have any rope or anything.
I don't know. I'm not sure what you guys have for gear.
I don't have any rope.
I have synth rope.
Okay, yeah.
That could help.
Yep.
So should I make a climb check with the rope so I can tie it up at the top?
Sure. Do you have a decent athletics?
No, it's just 2 green. Is the difficulty hard?
Difficulty is 3. Yep.
I can try again because I have 3 green.
Oh yeah, okay, so try again taking the rope with you.
There we go.
There you
All right,
go.
so you take 2 more strain, but you do make it. Are you going to be carrying the... It's actually going to be another athletics check to make it to the top. It's going to be the same difficulty, but it starts to get wet at this portion, so you need to add a setback die.
You're in a knock me unconscious.
All right.
I'm at my limit for my strain.
Okay, well, I'm not going to give you a strain for this one, though. This one, let's see. Two threat. Yeah, you actually you go to grab onto a portion of the ship to climb up to the last bit, and you hit a really rusty part, and you crash through the interior. As part of the hull plating gives way underneath you, and you go tumbling into the darkened hulk of the engines. Give me a 1 difficulty coordination check. Okay, you manage to catch yourself so you don't take damage from the fall. But you are now in the pitch black inside of the engine area. You took a pretty large fall, but you can kind of see some daylight out of the hole, but it's not enough to really illuminate what's around you right now.
Do I still have the rope?
You do still have the rope.
Can I tie it onto something so that they can try to get up?
Yep. So if you guys want to try and climb, I'm going to have it bump it to an easy 1 difficulty athletics check to climb using the synth rope.
Okay. Are we both climbing?
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle. You go first.
All right. 1 failure and 3 advantages.
Have you taken strain up to this point?
I took 1 strain before.
Okay. Well, I'll give you have you heal your 1 strain, and I'm going to say you don't manage to climb the rope, but it's because when you pull on it, there's still some slack left. And you tighten that slack as you tumble, but it's going to give Iris a boost die to her climb check because now the rope is set properly.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Wow, you guys. Please don't get knocked unconscious before you find the full remains of the ship.
Just keep tightening that rope up.
Yep. We're the worst explorers.
Josh, Irish hasn't taken strain, right?
No, she is not.
Okay, so you give a boost die to to Kyle again. Short period, you just see the rope bouncing around and a bunch of dumps outside the hull.
What's going on down there?
What's going on?
All right, I'm trying again with the boost die from Iris. Nothing.
Okay.
Everything cancels.
You guys managed to make it up the rope, but you're climbing like little old ladies that should be using walkers. And I'm not talking AT-ATs.
Yeah.
Eventually, you manage to make your way inside and drop down into the engine area below.
Did we determine if we had any light sources before we jumped in there?
Nope. Nope, we don't have any. We have blasters.
Starting blasting.
You also realize it might have been a good idea to secure the other side of the rope so you could climb it back out.
Hush you.
Hey, they didn't say that they had jumped in yet.
Well, unless they want to climb all the way back down, I assume they climbed in.
Climb in, fall out. It works.
There you go. You guys are in a dry section of the engine. There is some very quickly rushing water going through that goes out the engine ports that you think probably creates the waterfalls and whatnot that you saw from the outside. Let's see. From what you can see, without doing an in-depth examination, you figure like completely searching this engine section is going to take days, as well as like some sort of special equipment, safety harnesses, obviously, portable sensors, and underwater gear.
We don't have any of that.
No.
No. I mean, you might be able to do some sort of an examination, but there's no way you're going to be able to explore the whole thing
Right.
with what you have right now.
Are we able to get out? Because the whole reason we came up is to help Short Pier.
Well, you're pretty sure that, I mean, worst case scenario, you could ride one of the deluges of water pouring out
Okay.
into the lake,
Okay.
like a giant water slide.
See, we can get out. Okay, so
Do we? Oh, we have comlink. I have a comlink.
Yes.
Are we able
Yep.
to communicate back with IT3PO with the ship?
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Yeah, you sure can.
Um, Now, as a crew, do we want to see if IT3PO can man the ship and maybe hover it over us somehow to try to get out and then move to a different area, or is that not something we want to attempt? Because right now it seems like we're in the pitch black with no light and no scanners, and we're kind of
yeah,
the dumbest explorers ever.
I steal things. I don't know.
Yeah, you think Shortpeer might, or Shortpeer, you think IT3PO, he's not like a pilot, but he should be able to position the ship,
Okay.
enough where you guys can get out if you need to. And I'll allow that without making any kind of rolls and plunging into the cold water below or something. And you guys didn't get too much from the engine section, unfortunately, but Shortpeer is pretty sure where the rest of it landed, because now that you have been inside the engine section, you know there's no way this is what is left of the ship. It must just be another chunk of it.
Okay.
So, Shortpeer's survival check before it tells you that if there is more of the ship, it's probably a couple kilometers to the north still, which you can get to now that you're back on your ship.
Yeah, let's move along. Do we need to make any kind of a scan of this area, or are we just moving on? Crew.
I'm good with just moving on.
Sounds good to me.
All right. All right. Why don't you guys? You can choose which route you want to go as you guys get back on the ship and continue north. You can either give me a 3 difficulty perception check, or someone can also get the 3 difficulty perception check would have 2 setback dice, or give me a 2 difficulty computers check with no setback dice. So one person can make the computers check while the other 2 make perception checks if they want.
So it's either or.
Yep.
What was the perception one?
Well, because basically the computers would be someone on the ship doing a sensor sweep. This perception one is 3 difficulty with 2 setback dice.
Okay. I'll do one of the perceptions.
I'll do the other perception.
Okay.
At least you see something.
Josh, are you doing the computer check?
Yep.
All right.
Sorry, how many? Do I get any setback? Sorry.
No setbacks. It's just a straight 2 difficulty
Okay.
computers check. Success.
Hey,
Okay.
here we go.
So
Oh shit.
pretty much simultaneously, both Iris and Kyle spot something that is obscured by trees and purposely placed camouflage that you're pretty sure is the main section of the ship. Shorpier, on the other hand, is looking out the window and is completely distracted by what he sees for a split second. Looks to be the night flyer, the ship of the Rhodians that tried to take IT3PO from you guys. As it blasts off to another section, it didn't happen to notice you. You don't think?
Those guys again.
Yep. It's funny because it wasn't there before Shorpier looked out the window.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start going crazy.
But on the lake's eastern shore, as you follow the approach, the what you think is the hull of a ship. You see what at first appears to be a large, irregularly shaped hill randomly covered in vines and scraggly vegetation, partially concealed by the jungle canopy. Perched on the hill at a prominent but odd angle appears to be the ruins of a large building with most of the transparisteel windows taken out. You suddenly realize you're looking at the forward sloped section of the Sa Nalaor and its bridge. It's facing northwest toward the lake. Its forward shell-like hull is displayed with the lower decks buried and crushed in the old river bank. There are a few suitable landing locations along the lakeshore itself. Otherwise, you can try to fly beneath the forest canopy and land directly in front of the bridge if you make a 2 difficulty piloting space or piloting planetary check.
I can make a 2 difficulty piloting space check. If that's what y'all want to do. Do y'all want to land right there?
Yeah, we can give that a whirl.
All right.
Might as well try.
Just 1 advantage. No successes and failures canceled.
Okay, so you do land there, but you hit a tree on the way down, and your ship takes another point of damage.
Okay.
But you do land on her, and you think it might be actually fairly protected by the camouflage from where
So
you
those
by
Rhodians
where you
can't
landed as
see
well.
us.
You think they probably won't be able to.
Okay.
And yeah, so what are you guys doing at this point now that you've sat down?
Searching the area.
Okay. Why don't you all give me a 3 difficulty perception check?
Can I heal some of my strain?
Yes. I'll let you heal 3 strain. Josh, or Iris, you take 1 strain.
Okay.
And it looks like the only one who succeeded was Shorpier. You do note that someone has...
Josh succeeded.
Yep.
Iris did.
Oh, with the threat. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Iris and Shorpier do both notice that someone has obviously tried to camouflage the ship with a makeshift netting of leaves and vines. You've also noticed that portions of the ship have been stripped for salvage by... It doesn't look like a terribly advanced operation. And you, Shorpier does see the old remains of a large encampment, barely visible through the foliage. And Shorpier occasionally hears a noise that indicates that there might be something alive in the darkened wreckage somewhere. But you can't make out where.
Or what?
Or what, no. You just hear movement occasionally from inside the ship.
Swell. Okay.
So that's what you guys found. At this point, you guys are fairly certain that it's pretty evident that even if they're not still alive, there were survivors of the Sa Nalaor somewhere down here for a very long time.
Okay.
Based on the fact that the camouflage has been kept up. I mean, it doesn't look like it's 20-year-old camouflage. It looks initially 20 years old, but it's been added to.
Okay. Well, looks like we had survivors, at least for a time. Let's head inside and see what we can find.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's see. You guys enter in through one of the many holes in the ship, and to To your left on the starboard side, you see a long corridor blackened by fire. To your right on the port side is a similar corridor. You can see daylight lighting up the chamber at the end. The aft corridor is very long and appears to be buckled, possibly from where the hull twisted on impact. Condensation trickles down the decking and drips into a bulkhead in the floor that leads deeper into the interior of the ship. The hatch of the bulkhead has been removed, but the ladder still remains, moss and climb dangling from the rungs. So basically there is a left path and a right path, and then the hatch. That is straight ahead somewhere.
Okay. Let's go down the path that doesn't seem to be buckled.
Okay. So you guys head down that route, and you enter what was once appears to be the ship's sensor array control room. Computers as tall as the ceiling are burnt out or horribly corroded, with many bits and pieces seemingly chiseled or broken off. A large section of decking is missing, where an explosion obliterated much of the compartment and its equipment. Let's see. You do see in one corner you see a tarp that appears to be covering something.
Okay.
Kyle wants to inspect that part.
Okay. Underneath the tarp, you find a toolkit. And from the dust in the room and whatnot, it looks like someone was recently using it to try to remove a security scanner from the wall, but they temporarily abandoned the job, covering the work area to conceal it. And why doesn't everyone give me a vigilance check?
No difficulty?
No, this is for initiative.
Okay.
Okay, so it's gonna go PC, NPC, PC, PC, NPC. All right, I gotta grab a notepad now. Okay, so what's going to happen is that one of the PCs can go first, and why we are going into initiative now is because at this point you hear sound coming from the hallway just outside, and you turn to find two Nexu looking in at you. However, both of them appear to be cybernetically enhanced. One, as it flashes its tail, you see metallic spikes embedded on it, and the other one, you see that its claws glow almost like vibro knives.
Swell.
All right.
Guess we should have dismembered that last one. He's back for revenge.
So PC1 goes first.
They better, big game hunter.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, you're going to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you going to shoot at? Just out of
The
curiosity.
closest one.
Well, they're both kind of neck and neck in the doorway at the moment.
Alright, I want to go after probably the one with the claws.
Okay. Tail. I'll call them. All right. So they are at short range from you at the moment.
Holy cow.
Holy crap.
Destroyed.
Hey, you heal a strain.
Woohoo!
And so it's 10 damage normally, right?
Yep.
Your weapon is so it's 14 total.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is still standing,
Now it's
but
mad.
it is very injured. Yeah, it looks very hurt. And let's see, NPC's turn. Let's see. All right. It is going to attack the person who just hit it. It's going to stop and study Sharpier for a moment, and then it's going to pounce. Let's see. Oh, and miss.
Nice.
So next up are the other two PCs.
Should Iris go if Kyle is still fiddling about at the tarp area?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I'll shoot. Which one was already hit?
The one that is on Sharpier currently, the one with the claws.
Okay. The other one's tail.
And the other one has, yeah, some sort of cybernetically enhanced tail.
Okay, I'll shoot it at the one with the tail.
All right.
Is that 2 difficulty or 1?
That's going to be true difficulty because it's engaged.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, you heal 2 strain if you've taken any. Otherwise, you miss. And that leaves Kyle.
All right. And is it still 2? Well, I'm going to go by the one that's already been damaged.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that's on Sharpier right now, so that'll be 2 difficulty.
So that's 2 difficulty. And then I will attack with I just have a blaster pistol. So here we go.
You hit, but you take 2 strain.
All right.
What's the damage on your weapon?
Damage is 6.
6 plus 1 is 7. Okay, it is still standing, but it is severely injured at this point, and it looks kind of pissed off. And the other Cybernexu now pounces at Iris, the smallest of them.
Right. Cool.
It studies Iris for a moment and kind of licks its lips, and then jumps. And let's see. Holy crap!
Holy moly.
Awesome.
Wow. Okay. Where's its claws?
Mauled.
So 9. That's 10 damage before soak plus a critical.
Okay.
Well, at least it's not a horrible critical. 12. You drop your blaster.
Okay.
From a sudden jolt.
Sorry,
and,
you said 10 before soak?
Yep.
Okay.
And it strained itself in the process as well a little bit.
Right.
So it is now top of the round. So PC number 1.
Go Sharpier.
Blast him, Sharpier.
Sharpier, you're going to want to take a step back if you're going to try and shoot it as well.
Alright, I can do that. And I'll shoot at the same one.
Okay.
Wait, was it the one with the tail that just went after Iris?
Yes.
I want to shoot at that one.
Okay, that'll up your difficulty to 2. But you still hit. Heal a strain, and you hit for 12. All right. This one, it doesn't look like it's hurting quite as bad as the one that was on you, but it is pretty injured. And the one that was on Sharpier is going to charge Sharpier again.
Cool.
Sharpier, you are hit for. What is the damage on? Oh, that's right. This is the claws. Let's see. So that's damage 8. You're hit for damage 10 before armor.
Before soak.
Before soak,
Right.
yep.
Cool.
And the other two PCs can go.
Right. Go ahead, Kyle.
You're gonna try to blast him off of you.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna give for the one that's engaged with Iris. Is that 2 difficulty still?
Yes.
Okay. 1 failure.
Ugh,
Shot goes awry.
Sorry about that.
it's all right.
Okay, and so now we're to Iris.
Okay. I'm gonna scramble to try to pick up my blaster and then back away.
Alright. Picking up your blaster would be a move action, so if you want to take 2 strain, you can still back away and shoot if you want.
Okay, I'll take the strain.
Okay.
Cool.
And yours is actually only 1 difficulty. So if you want to, what
Oh.
were on your difficulty dice?
Okay, I'll just reroll.
Because if they're the same thing, you can just.
Yeah, one's a failure. I'll drop the. So I'd get 3. So I get a critical then.
You get a critical?
Yeah.
Alright, so roll a percentile. 18. And what's the damage on your gun again? 6?
7.
7? 7,
Yeah,
8,
so
9.
9.
Minus 3 is. What is it? 18. Alright, it injured and distracted him. It is severely hurt, but it is still standing. And it is going to come after you again
Of course.
and fail.
Good.
But it puts itself in a good position for its next attack if it gets one, I'll say.
Yeah.
So top of the round to PC number 1.
You guys want me to go again?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. I'm not too worried about the one that's on me, so I'm going after the one that's on Iris again.
Okay. Alright, that's enough to kill it. And you heal strain.
Good job.
Excellent.
You blast a hole in its head. And then the other one is going to go after Sharpier with claws. And it hits for 10 damage again. But it injures itself in the process. And then the other 2 PCs can go.
I will blast at the one that's attacking Sharpier, as it's the only one left. 2 difficulty?
Yep.
No success, 1 advantage.
So if you have strain, you can heal a strain. Otherwise, you can pass a boost to someone.
I will pass a boost to Iris.
Okay. Iris, Kyle's shot was enough that it put the beast a little better, more in your crosshairs.
Okay. So, is it still 1 damage? 1 difficulty?
2 difficulty.
2.
Because it's engaged, yep.
You forgot your blue one.
Oh,
Yeah, you have a boost.
I would just add a boost by itself.
oops. So it's going to be 2 advantage.
2 advantage, okay. So you can heal 2 strain if you've taken any, but your shot is enough to kill it.
Okay.
So You drop it after Shortbeard drops the one that was attacking you. You drop the one that was attacking Shortbeard.
Excellent.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Sorry, I couldn't do anything, guys.
It's all
Hey,
right.
you tried.
You're
You were there.
So for you guys, out of character, do we need to be done in 10 minutes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We are probably going to just do a little bit of RP here and then slowly wind it down because we are about halfway through this portion of the adventure.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe a little more depending on what happens next time. But yeah, this is a long one. So you guys are where are we? You guys just killed the Cyber Nexu. It is getting to be evening, and you figure when you explore the rest of the ship, from what you can access, you don't think there's any immediate danger here. You think this must probably, if not here, then the remains of the camp outside. It's as good a place as any to set up for the evening.
Okay.
Or I suppose you could stay on your ship as well, which is right out front now that I think about it.
Right.
But basically, there's no reason to go anywhere.
Okay. I suggest our ship is the best place.
I agree.
Because at least there we've got.
A way to get out quick if we have to.
Get out quickly if we need to, and then IT3PO's there, and he can stand watch and stuff. Since Chopir saw that other group coming around, so maybe they are gonna come by while we're getting some rest. At least we'll have someone to wake us up.
Sure. All right, so you guys stay at the ship, and you get up the next morning, and you hear movement, the sound of a ship flying close over yours, and as you peer outside, you see the Night Flyer, the Yar clan's ship, actually did manage to track you down, and it sets down next to your ship, and you see the gangplank go down, and you see, let's see, three members of the Yar clan that you faced off against last time at the wheel, and two Transition crewmen disembark with weapons drawn, and begin approaching your ship, looking threatening, and that's where we're going to probably cut off for the night since we won't have time to do anything else.
So there's 5 enemies coming our way.
Yep.
Oh my.
Get
And
to
that's
the
where we will
turrets.
stop. So I will stop the broadcast here. Let me see.